So in our last visit, we ended with my father calling. My father had immigrated to the US in 1970, and somebody came to the apartment where we stayed and said, "Your father called. He's going to call again tomorrow at this time. You need to come, and he'll call you then, tomorrow." We didn't have a phone. So the next day we went to the college and waited for the phone call, and sure enough he called and he said, "I sent you immigration papers to the embassy in Lebanon. I got my citizenship and I filed the papers, and your papers should be at the embassy in Beirut if you want to come." Well, even though we had been separated, we had no future in Lebanon, absolutely no future. No legal papers, the war is going on. Sure, we'll come to the US, but we have a problem, a big problem. We have no legal papers, the war is very, very heavy, and the embassy is on the west side. To get to the west side, we had to go through several checkpoints. There was a Christian militia checkpoint, another Christian militia checkpoint, Lebanese army checkpoint, Palestinian checkpoint, Syrian checkpoint, several sections of Muslim checkpoints. There's no way we could have made it to West Beirut. Absolutely no way. Besides crossing that green line is impossible. Mom called the embassy and said, "Can I come and get the paperwork?" They said, "No, your name is not on the immigration request. Only your children can come." How can we go? Lord, please open the door, open the door. But now there's no food sale. What are we going to do while we wait for God to open the door? Our neighbors came and said, "We can't buy food, but we're desperate for bread." Oh, no electricity. Oh, we went months with no electricity and no water. We'd have to sneak up to the mountains, fill up jugs and from the natural springs. My uncle had a car and we would go and get the water that way. So the neighbors came and said, "We need bread. Bakeries have shut down, no electricity, no water. If you bake us bread," they told Mom, "You bragged about doing this stuff with the mountain bread. We call it sage bread. If you make us that bread, you don't need an oven for that." Mom said, "But I don't have that sage," which is like a part of a dome that, I'll show you a picture of it. Here's what they were talking about. And as you watch it, I will talk. They said, "If you bake us bread, we'll buy from you." Well, how do we get the dough? We need flour. How do we buy the flour? Everything is closed. Everything is shut down. Oh, wait a minute. The college had a bakery, and the bakery was not operational. Now watch what this lady's going to do. I'm going to stop talking so you can see what that's what Mom did. That's what Mom did. Yes. That's what she did. And that thing on the right, that's the dome. That's the dome. We didn't have a fancy setup like that. The neighbors actually got her a dome the next day. Look at that. Oh, it brings back memories. Wow. Good memories. We'd wake up early in the morning, knead the dough, let it rest, roll it into balls, let it rest. And then we'd go down behind the building and Mom would start doing this amazing thing. And we'd go pick up pine needles for the fire. We just put bricks under that dome, put bricks, and we'd feed it the pine needles for the fire. Anyway, they brought that dome down and from the mountains, and Mom said, okay, we need the flour. Where are we getting the flour? I went up to the college, talked to the president there, nice man. I said, the bakery is not operational. Can we please buy flour from you? We need to survive and we can sell bread. He said, we can't. We can't have any word go out that we have flour here. The militia would come and force us to give them our flour. There's a shortage in the whole country. Please, please, is there any way, any way? Well, come tomorrow. I'm going to check with some people and come tomorrow. So the next day I went up, walked up to the college. We're about, I don't know, half a mile from there. Walked up to the college, and he said, okay, we'll sell you the flour on one condition, that you give us bread and menaish. If you don't know what menaish are, it's the dough with thyme, za'atar we call it, on top, delicious, delicious, thyme and sumac and sesame seed, really delicious. Anyway, he said, if you sell us what we want first, we'll sell you the flour. Deal? No problem. So we'd get in my uncle's car, go up to the gate of the college, turn off the engine, push the car to the storage area, open the bay door, get 2 sacks of flour, put them in the trunk, coast down, get to the gate, start the engine, go to the house, to the apartment. And that is how we survived. Now, in the backs of our minds, we're saying, Lord, when are we gonna be able to go to the embassy? Please, please, please let things calm down. Please let things calm down so we can go to the embassy and get our papers. Well, they shot the American ambassador. It's not funny, but it's so sad. It was funny. June 11, 1976. Extremists killed the American ambassador. And all the paperwork was sent to Greece. We couldn't even go across town to go to Beirut to get our papers. How in the world are we going to go all the way to Greece to get our papers? We're stuck. Lord, why? Have you ever said, Lord, why? To make things worse, they opened a tiny port in Juni, which is on the east side, the Christian side. And the college sent all of their international students and faculty out of Beirut, of Lebanon. They went to Cyprus. So the college said, we're not going to sell you flour anymore. We don't need it. We don't have anyone to feed. And again, we're not going to risk it. Sorry, no more flour. Have you ever had doors shut, slammed in your face? Boom. No money, no papers. Our immigration papers are in Greece. What do we do? What would you do? What did Mom do? She prayed. And we prayed with her. We learned to pray with her. We had learned the power of prayer. somebody knocked on our door and said, hey, they're giving Christians Lebanese ID cards to increase the number of Christians in Lebanon. You go to the church, they pointed out which church, and you can get your ID cards there. So we went, my sister and I went with my oldest brother. Went to this church, a Catholic church. The priest is there. We're here to apply for the ID cards. Are you Christian? Yes. Here's the paper, £100 each, please. We don't have £100. I looked at my sister, we don't have the money. My brother said, I only have £150. The priest said, okay, £50 for each, go ahead. So we took the papers and sat down, and we're filling out our information, and in the place of religion, because every ID card, every citizenship card in Egypt and Lebanon have your religion written on it. And it says Catholic. So I got up, went to the priest and said, we're not Catholic. He said, are you a Christian? Yes. Well, write whatever you are, as long as you're a Christian. Just write whatever you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're very kind. So we crossed it out, put Seventh-day Adventist, gave him £50, and immediately we got the ID cards. We had taken our pictures with us. That same day, we ran down and got our passports on the east side. We're still on the east side. Now it's time to leave Lebanon. Went to the ferry that was leaving from Juni, tiny, tiny ferry. I don't remember how many it held. I don't know, 40 people, fewer. I don't remember, but it was tiny. Went to the ferry, and they said £600 a piece. Okay, don't have £600. So I'm back to the house, to the apartment, and I'm saying, Mom, it's $600 a piece. We prayed, so we prayed. I went up to the college, knocked on doors. Anyone, can you loan me £1,200, £1,200? Nope, 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 nope. The gentleman at the gate, George Sarkis, what a wonderful guy. He said, Samir, what do you need? He said, I need £1,200. Told him the story. I had worked at the gate for summers and summers, worked at the gate. He said, well, you know what to do. Sit. He went up to his house, came back, £1,200, here you go. Pay me when you can. When you start working, pay me. No papers to sign, nothing, just pay me. Go. Went down to the apartment, Mom is crying. Well, what now? Well, she said, I don't have a job. I can't sell food. I can't sell bread. I don't have money for the rent. How am I going to live? If I go with you to Cyprus, and from there I go to Egypt, I can go stay at the orphanage where we stayed years ago, and I can volunteer to help there and for my food and just a room to sleep in. Until you get your citizenship, then you can sponsor me to come over. I walked up to George again and said, George, I'm sorry, we need 600 more. I told him the story. Okay, sit. He went up to his apartment, his house, came back, 600. Pay me when you can. God uses people to supply your needs. All the professors and all the people who own their apartments and whatever, they said, no, we can't afford it. No, we can't give you the money. We can't loan you the money. The gate man. gave me 1,800 pounds. Mom's monthly salary was 450 pounds a month, 450. And this man loaned me 1,800 pounds with no paper to sign. Because God impressed on his heart, help these people. The next day, we were on that ferry boat. At night, of course, lights out, because they didn't want any bombs hitting it. 13 hours in that ferry boat to cover 150 miles between Lebanon and Cyprus. 13 hours. We got to Cyprus, refugees from Lebanon. Processed our papers, went to the church had set up their Afro-Mid-East Division. It was back then called Afro-Mid-East Division. They set up the headquarters in the church compound, which used to be a school, classrooms, and a couple little tiny apartments, and offices, and a little church. They gave us a tiny little room for Mom and my sister and me. And my brother and his wife and his child, they got a room. The people there asked us, how did you get out? You have no papers. We told them the story, how we got these ID cards. They said, shh. These ID cards are no good. They said, don't ever use them in Lebanon again. The government rejected them. They are fake. But they were good enough for the American embassy to identify who we are and to give us our visas. So now we're in Cyprus. Thank you, Lord, we're in Cyprus. No money. No money to survive. One day I walked up to the office to, do you remember something called telex? That was before cell phones, before fax machines. They had the telex. You know, you type and then there's a on the other side and it prints a long sheet that has a message. Well, that's how we were communicating. So we're communicating with my father because he promised to send us the money for tickets. So as I walked up to the office to check, did we get anything from my father, any news? I saw a chair on the side, broken. And I said, what are you going to do with this chair? He said, oh, it's broken, we're going to throw it out. I said, I can fix it. Oh yeah? Yeah, I had worked in the maintenance department in Lebanon at Middle East College. I can fix this. And my uncle, who was an excellent, excellent carpenter, I had watched him work. We had actually lived with him for a few months after my brother died. So I know a little bit about maintaining things. So I took the chair, fixed it. Oh, they were impressed. They said, hey, here's money for fixing it. And anytime we need anything else fixed, we'll let you know and we'll pay you. Thank you, Lord. So we got a little bit of money, enough to buy food. But Mom, she frustrated me so much. She would fix a meal and invite people to eat. Mom, we don't have enough food for us. We don't have money. What are you doing? Son, as long as God provides, we provide for other people. We always give. We always give. With the little bit we have to give. Mom, we don't have enough money. Shame on me. Always learning from my mom, wonderful, wonderful lessons. Pretty soon, people who are coming over from England or from the US, Mom would invite them, you're strangers, come and eat, come and eat. And I'd say, Mom, they have their per diem, they can go eat, they can go to restaurants. No, son, we're going to share. Pretty soon, these people, when they left, they'd leave money for us. The first time it just shocked me and actually just shut me up. I went to the office to fix something and they said, oh, here's an envelope for your mom. Mom opened it and there was a 10 Cypriot pound note in that envelope, which was enough to keep us in food for a long time. I couldn't say anything after that to Mom. She said, son, God asked us to share. And when we share, He's happy. And when He's happy, He never lets His children go hungry. And that's how we survived for 3 months in Cyprus. My little work and Mom's generosity. Until finally, my father sent us the tickets. I was frustrated because we were 3 days late to PUC. We wanted to go to college, go to college, go to college. We finally made it 3 days after school had started. Till this day, I don't know why God allowed it, but you know what? It didn't matter. It did not matter. Well, we're in the US. But before we get to the US, I want to tell you about something that really, really, really makes me, I don't know, gives me goosebumps every time I think about it. As I was walking from that church compound on Gladstone Street to go to the embassy, I walked by the John F. Kennedy Library in Nicosia, Cyprus. And on top of that library, I saw the largest, the hugest, the biggest US flag I had ever seen in my life. I stopped under it and I started crying. Because for the first time ever in my life, I felt safe. In Egypt, family troubles, family troubles, family troubles, hunger, kidnapping, lots of other things. In Lebanon, fear because I had no legal papers. And now for the very first time in my life, I am safe. I have a country to call mine. And without being political, I'm going to tell you that every time I see somebody burn that flag, I get angry. It's not political with me. It's existential. It is personal. The flag that at the very end of a very troubled life gave me that deep sigh, deep relief, I belong. That flag represented safety, represented belonging, represented that I finally am somebody. I'm not afraid to walk around anymore. It reminds me of the flag of the Bible. This is our flag with a cross. That's a reminder that we're safe, that we belong, that we have no fear. I'll never forget that flag. Anyway, we're now in the US. In the US. Oh, I've got to tell you a funny thing, just a by the way. See, in the Middle East, when men meet each other, they kiss on the cheeks. So when I landed in San Francisco, there's my cousin coming to meet me. And I hugged him and I started to kiss him on the cheek, and he backed off. I was back 1976. I said, oh yes, I'm sorry. I forgot we're in the US. I'm sorry. Anyway, that was just a lighthearted thing. So, we're in the US, and my mother left from Egypt, from Cyprus to Egypt. Again, borrowing money to travel to Egypt. She went to the orphanage. We're sending letters just about every day. My sister and I would write letters. I'm sure my brother did, but he had his family. We're at PUC, at Pacific Union College, in the dormitory. My brother was living in a house with his wife and child, so I don't know how often he wrote, but my sister and I would write just about every day. And we'd say, Mom, we miss you. We're asking people how we can get Mom over here, before we have to wait 5 years to become citizens and then sponsor her to come. December, we get a letter from Mom. I'm going to be coming to the US. What? Here's the story. So Mom went to Egypt. She went to the orphanage to see Mama Kruger, to ask her, can I volunteer here for just what I can eat and stay in a room? That's all I want, no money. This beautiful, amazing saint, Mama Kruger, said, of course you can. But hey, there's somebody here who knows you. Her name is Susan Klebe. She knows you from Lebanon times. Mom said, I don't know Susan Klebe from Lebanon times. Oh, she knows you. I know, she's Egyptian, and she knows you, and she's very excited to see you there. She and her husband have been here 2 years, volunteering to help the orphanage. They brought money with them, and they're helping me with things around the orphanage. They're now in Luxor, visiting the antiquities there, and they'll be back soon. I don't know Susan Klebe. Well, she knows you. So Mom, okay, fine. Susan and her husband came back. Mom looked at her and said, oh, Naima. The lady's name was Naima. But of course, Americans cannot say that, Naima. They either say Naima or anyway, the lady decided to change her name to something easier for the American tongue. She chose Susan. She got married, so she had her husband's name, Klebe. They lived in Angwin. Oh, wow. Naima, it's good to see you. Oh, Susan, sorry, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. And they would talk and talk. One day, Mom received a letter from my sister and me. And she was reading it and she started crying. And Susan said, what's wrong? She gave her the letter, and my sister said, Mom, we miss you so much, and we're trying to find a way to bring you here. We're asking all around. We want to bring you to the States with us. Susan talked to her husband. They went to the American embassy in Cairo and said, we'd like this lady to come visit us. They paid for her ticket. They sponsored her. They gave enough proof that they can. I mean, they had a beautiful house in Angwin, where Pacific Union College is. And that's how Mom came to the US. Do you see what happened here? Do you see the chain? We go to Cyprus, and Mom comes with us because she has nowhere to go in Lebanon. Yeah, she could have lived with her brother, be a burden on her brother. Come on. Even though her brothers loved her a lot. She came to Cyprus, went to Egypt to volunteer. Had she stayed in Lebanon, she wouldn't have met Susan. Had she stayed in Lebanon, she would have stayed 5 years before we became citizens to sponsor her. By coming to Cyprus, going to Egypt, God worked it out so at this exact time, she would meet an old friend, and the old friend would sponsor her to come visit. And Mom came to the US January 15, 1977. Thanks to Susan and Bud Klebe. Thanks to God. You think the problems are over? No way. Okay, so Mom is there. I had to quit college. We needed an income. Mom is on a visitor's visa. She can't work. So I dropped out of college. Got a job mowing lawns and working for a man who owned a landscaping business. We need to rent an apartment. Rented a tiny apartment. I believe it was a garage that was turned into an apartment. Tiny little thing. But thanks to the George family, we had a place to live. Okay, my little job is not gonna provide for this or a car, you know, living in Angwin. If we want to go anywhere, we need a car. Mom has to have a job. And her visa is going to expire soon. And when her visa expires, she has to leave. So, Mom, okay, let's go. I had bought a little VW Bug from my previous roommate. And I had actually gotten my driver's license. That was a funny story. I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to tell you I failed the driving test 3 times because I was turning from the wrong lane to go left. Egypt and Lebanon, who cares what lane you're in? You turn left. I failed 3 times because he would say, okay, next left turn, I want you to turn left, and I would be in the middle lane, and I'd... Anyway, yeah, that's... Finally, I got my license. And went to the federal building on Sansom Street in San Francisco. Stood in line. Long line. A very long line. Okay, we're standing there hours. Finally, a lady comes from the side and says, if you're not here for a green card or immigration, step aside. Come see me. Mom and I went to the lady. Okay, what do you need? I said, well, we want to renew my mother's visa. I said, we don't renew visitors' visas here. I said, please, is there any way? I told her the story. Her 3 children are here. The war in Lebanon is going on. She has no job. She has no place to stay. Please, please, please. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I can't help you, but you go up to room 1011 or 11. I think it was 1011, room 1011. And you go and speak to the man there. Thank you. Went up, room 1011, sure enough, good. On the door, something Scott, Mr. Something Scott. We remembered that name because, you know, coming from Lebanon, brand new. Scott is a first name, and it's kind of funny that his last name would be Scott. Anyway, walked in, yep, on the desk, Mr. Scott. The man is sitting behind the desk, 2 chairs, please have a seat. What can I do for you? Well, my mother is here on a visitor's visa. It's going to expire pretty soon. And the 3 of us children are here. The war in Lebanon is going on, and she has no place to go, no work. Is there any way we can get her refugee status or even an asylum status? The man thought and said, no, we haven't classified Lebanon that way yet. We can't accept refugees from there yet. I know what you're saying. It's tough there, but no refugee status, no asylum status. Please. I mean, where's she gonna go? And of course, we're prayed before we got there. We're praying now, Lord, please, please, something, please. The man said, okay, well, you know what, I understand your situation. I can't give you an asylum status. I can't give you a refugee status. I can't give you permanent residency, but here's what I'm going to do. We'll renew your visa, your visitor's visa, every 6 months until the 5 years are up and your children get their citizenship, and then they can sponsor you to get your citizenship. Thank you, that's very kind. But mom said, but okay, thank you, this was very generous. However, I need to work. I can't survive here with no work. Oh yes, okay. So he wrote in the passport, permitted to work. Stamped it, 6 months visa, permitted to work. Thank you, Mr. Scott. God bless you, very kind. We'll see you in 6 months. So we went back, took mom looking for jobs. We started cleaning houses. I quit my landscaping job, and we started cleaning houses. 6 months are almost up. We go back to the federal building on Sansom Street, and we stand in line, and after hours we get to the window. Okay, how can I help you? We're here to renew mom's visa. The lady looked at us. We don't renew visitors' visas. Oh, but you see in the passport, here it is. She said, we don't renew it. We just don't renew it. But she has a 6-month visa with permission. Yeah, fine, your 6 months are over. Mom, let's go try something else. No, son, no. We prayed, God's gonna open the door. Lady, we're here 6 months ago, went up to room 1011. We sat there in the office with a Mr. Scott, and this is exactly what he told us. She said, sir, room 1011 has been locked for years. We've never had a Mr. Scott work in this building. I mean, she's getting angry with us now. I said, lady, honestly, believe me, we did. She's getting angry with us. There's no Mr. Scott in this building. We haven't had a Mr. Scott in this building. And the room has been locked. Nobody's in it. Lady, believe me. In frustration, okay, let's go. We go up to room 1011. It is locked. Nobody's in it. No chairs in it. There's one old desk in it. The lady's looking at us and says, okay, I mean, here it is. Now, Mom remembered that there was a, these 8x5 cards, the index cards. I remember a drawer. I don't know which one it was. But I remember the lady opening a drawer. And in it, there was a folder with everything that Mr. Scott has told us. The lady froze. The lady absolutely froze. She said, we have never had a Mr. Scott in this building, and this room has not been used for years. I have no idea how this folder got here. But everything seems to be in order. We went with the lady. She stamped Mom's passport and made a note on it to be renewed every 6 months. Until this day, I have no idea who the Mr. Scott was. I have no idea how that room was locked for years, and yet we went in and spoke with that man and got Mom's paperwork done. When I tell the story to my friends, some say it was an angel. Some say God sent somebody from the immigration department specifically that day, and only that day. Nobody else knew he was there except that woman who told you go up to 1011. I don't know. All I know is I was there and I saw what happened. What explanation you want to conclude? Up to you. All I know is that God worked it out for my mom to stay here in the U.S. And she kept working. And 5 years later, she got her green card when we became citizens. That's our wonderful God. That is our amazing God. Nothing happens by chance to God's children. God is not the God of chances. He's a God of second and third and fourth and 100th chances. But He gives us chances to repent. But nothing happens to us by chance. We are in God's care. His eye is on us always. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Psalm 34. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. What an amazing God we serve. I hope you trust Him. Nobody can take these amazing events away from me. They're engraved in my heart, on my mind, in every atom of my being. How God took care of us. And there's still more stories to come next time.